Hello everyone, this is Jubair Khan and you are watching Joravi Nursing online classes. In this video, we are going to start a disease condition of heart. So in cardiovascular system, what are the disease condition we are going to see? So before starting the video, please subscribe my channel if you are new on my channel. If you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe it and like this video and share to your friends also. So let us start the video. First disease is coronary artery disease. So we will see the what is coronary artery disease, how it is occurring, this factors and all. So coronary artery disease is a narrowing and obstruction. So it is a narrowing and obstruction of one or more coronary arteries. So obstruction of one or more coronary arteries is called coronary artery disease. It will be a narrow or obstruction. It can be for one artery or more than one arteries as a result of atherosclerosis. Why it is? It is due to atherosclerosis. Okay, which is an accumulation of lipid containing plaque in the arteries. So what will be happen there in artery? Like this is the artery, so blocking will be there. Why? Because lipid plaque will be deposition, they will be there. So accumulation of lipid containing plaque in the arteries, due to that we say this coronary artery disease. Next point is the disease is caused decreased perfusion of myocardial tissues, inadequate myocardial oxygen supply, leading to hypertension, angina, dysarrhythmias, MI, heart failure and death. If it is causing the decreased perfusion, when in artery block is there, so perfusion will not be there, so good perfusion will not be there, and then oxygen supply will be less. So what it will cause? It will cause the hypertension, it may cause the angina, dysarrhythmia and myocardial infarction, then heart failure and death also it may lead, because inadequate tissue perfusion will be there. So oxygen supply will be there, ischemia will be there. So if ischemia is there, so heart pain will be there, that means angina will occur. Collateral circulation, more than one artery supplying a muscle with the blood is normally present in coronary arteries, especially in older person. So collateral circulation will be there. If one artery is not working, so another artery will work. So in which person it will work? So mainly it will work in the older persons. The development of collateral circulation takes time. So the development of collateral circulation, it will take time. When one artery is closed, suddenly another artery will not supply the blood to that particular portion. So it will take time to collateral circulation, to start the collateral circulation. Develops when chronic ischemia occurs to meet the metabolic demands. Therefore occlusion of coronary artery in a younger individual is more likely to be lethal than one in older individual. So when one artery is blocked, so it will take time to collateral circulation. So due to that blocking, so it is more lethal in the younger adults, whereas in older individuals that collateral circulation will be start. So it is less lethal in the older individuals. So it is more lethal in the more risk for younger individuals. Symptoms occur when coronary artery is occluded. So what are the symptoms may occur when coronary artery is occluded? So to the point, to the inadequate blood supply. So inadequate blood supply to the muscles. So inadequate blood supply will be there. So less oxygen supply will be there. So it will lead to the ischemia. So ischemia will be there. Okay. Ischemia will be there. Okay. Ischemia will be there. Then coronary artery is narrowing. So it will be narrow. Is significant if the lumen diameter of the left main artery is reduced at least 50%, or if any major branch is reduced at least 75%. So what it means, coronary artery is narrowing is significant. So first mainly it will be narrow. So narrowing is the main significant. So it can be a 50% or 75%. The goal of treatment is alter to atherosclerotic progression. So whatever atherosclerosis is there, plaque formation is there, we need to remove that plaque and we need to prevent it for ischemia or angina and other complications. Okay, so for that we need to do some treatments. For that before treatment we need to assessment, we need to do assessment. So what are the assessment we can do? So here possible normal findings during asymptomatic period, so where symptom is not arrived, so for that period we need to see the findings, what are the normal findings are there. Okay, when symptoms arise, so chest pain may occur. So in this condition what you will assess? Chest pain is there, palpitation is there, dyspnea is there, syncope, cough and hemoptysis. This is main characteristic features, this we need to assess. So chest pain will be there, because chest pain why will be there? Because oxygen supply is cut. Why? Because blood supply is decreased, so oxygen supply is also decreased, so it will lead to the ischemia. Ischemia means that muscles will be having pain. So palpitation also will be there. Then dyspnea, difficulty in breathing also will be there. Syncope, temporary loss of consciousness is syncope. Okay, cough and hemoptysis may also be there. So these all things we need to find out, we need to assess these things. And excessive fatigue also it may there, so these we need to see. So diagnostic studies, so what are the diagnostic study we can do? So we can do a simple echocardiography. What is echocardiography? That is ECG. So what you will see in ECG? Blood flow is reduced and ischemia occurs. Okay, blood flow is reduced and ischemia occurs. So what will be there? ST segment depression and T wave inversion both are noted. So in ECG what you will say? ST segment depression will be there. So S and T depression and T wave inversion. So T wave will be inverse. So in this condition you can see the on ECG ST segment depression and T wave inversion on both, or both can be noted, whether it can be a this and is this, or both also it can be there on the ECG. ST segment returns to normal when blood flow returns. When blood flow is returned, then ST segment also return in the normal condition. So it is due to why ST segment depression is there? Due to loss of blood supply. So if blood supply perfusion is returned, so it will be return the ST segment on the normal ECG. With infarction, cell injury results in the ST segment elevation. So if infarction is occurring, so cell injury is occurring. So ST segment elevation will be there. So in that condition ST segment will be elevated, followed by T waves inversion. ST segment will be elevated in the infarction condition. If infarction condition is there, why it will, then what will be happen? Cell injury will occur. In cell injury, this condition what will happen? ST segment will be elevated. So ST segment will be elevated and T wave will be inverse. So ST segment will be elevated and T wave will be inverse, and abnormal Q wave will be abnormal. Okay, so these are the things you can see in the echocardiography. Okay, cardiac catheterization. In cardiac catheterization what we can do by this diagnostic procedure? Cardiac catheterization shows the presence of atherosclerosis lesion. Whether any atherosclerosis lesion is there, plaque formation is there, we will do the cardiac catheterization. We have already seen the cardiac catheterization how we do. So by that we will see any other lesion is there, plaques is there, what is there in the arteries. Blood lipid levels. So first this also we can do blood lipid levels, whether this HDL or LDL, this LDL is high in the body, or this blood lipid profile we can check. Cholesterol lowering medications. So if lipid level and cholesterol level is high in the body, so we can provide the lowering the cholesterol lowering medication may be prescribed to reduce the development of atherosclerotic plaque, so which will decrease the atherosclerotic plaque. Okay, the interventions. So what are the interventions we can do? So assess the client to identify the risk factor that can be modified. So first we need to assess the risk factor, why it is occurring, so that can be modified. So if it is able to modify, so we need to modify that risk factors. So set the goals to promote lifestyle changes. So mainly we need to change the lifestyle. So low fatty diet, exercise, and all this everything, smoking, no smoking, and all. So these are the risk factors. So which should be avoided. It should be modified. Okay. Assist the client to identify barriers to compliance with the therapeutic plan and to identify the methods of overcome barriers. So what are the barriers we need to identify? So we need to overcome on that barriers. Instruct the client regarding, this is very important point here. So we need to instruct the client about the low calorie diet and low sodium and low cholesterol diet and low fat diet. So low cholesterol, low fat, low sodium and low calorie diet with increase in dietary fiber, or fiber diet, fiber rich diet he should take. All things low, but fiber should be high. Okay. Then stress to client that the dietary changes are not temporary. Okay, we need to stress on. Stress means we need to say that we need to inform the client this this dietary changes is not for temporary period, it is for lifelong period, it is maintained for a life. Instruct the client regarding prescription medication, and whatever medication is prescribed we need to instruct the client. Okay. Provide community resources to the client regarding exercises, smoking cessation, stress reduction as appropriate. So these things we need to teach the client about the smoking cessation. This is very important, and exercise also. Surgical procedures. So surgical procedure, what we can do? So we can do a PTCA. Okay. PTCA we can do what we will do in PTCA to compress the plaque against the walls. So we will compress that plaque, so it will dilate the blood vessels. Laser angioplasty to vaporize the plaque. So laser angioplasty we can do, it will vaporize the plaque. Atherectomy to remove the plaque from the artery. So we can do the atherectomy. Okay, so it will remove the plaque from the arteries. Vascular stent to prevent the artery for closing to prevent restenosis. So vascular stent we can put, so it will prevent to the artery to prevent to become a stenosed. Okay. Coronary artery bypass grafting to improve blood flow to the myocardial tissue at risk for ischemia or infarction because of occluded artery. So coronary artery bypass grafting, so CABG also we can do in this condition. Okay, so what we can do? PTCA, laser angioplasty, vaporize of plaque to vaporize the plaque, atherectomy, muscular stent, and CABG. So these things we can do. And medications. So medication, what medications doctor can prescribe? So nitrates to dilate the coronary artery. So for dilation of coronary artery we can give the nitrates. So because nitrate is a vasodilator and decrease the preload and afterload. Calcium channel blocker to dilate the coronary artery and reduce the vasospasm. So calcium channel blocker also is dilate the blood vessels and it will reduce the vasospasm. Cholesterol lowering medications, okay, anti-lipid medications, atorvastatin, statin, like that we can give if doctor has prescribed. Beta blockers also to reduce the BP in individual with hypertension. If patient is already hypertensive, so we need to give the beta blocker whatever is prescribed. Okay, so this is the, so in this you can see in this diagram like chronic causes of endothelial injury. So what are the chronic causes in endothelial injury? Hemodynamic factor, hypertension, toxins, virus, immune reactions, and smoking, hyperlipidemia. So these are the sections. So is response to injury. So what will be happen there? So damaged endothelium. So endothelium will be damaged. So this is the endothelium. This is tunica intima, tunica media, tunica adventitia. These all are here, monocyte, macrophage, and platelets. So whenever any injury is there, monocyte and macrophages will be activate. So forming macrophage ingesting the lipid. So these are the lipid containing particles are there. So lipid accumulation is there, is this you can see. Okay, in this condition, so what will be happen here? Lipid plaque formation, it will be deposition there. So fibrous plaque, so it will become a fibrous plaque like this. Okay, collagen cap, so this is the collagen cap, and fibroblast, fissures plaque, lipid pool. So these things will be deposited. That means all lipid containing things will be deposited in the arteries. Complicated, so what will it will cause where it is deposition? So it will cause some lesions inside the artery, that is complicated lesions like thrombus, thinning collagen cap, and lipid pool. Okay, so here it will cause the some complicated lesions due to this plaque formation. So now coming to main very important topic, that is angina. So what is angina? So angina is chest pain resulting from myocardial ischemia caused by inadequate myocardial blood and oxygen supply. So angina is nothing, angina is just chest pain. Why it is occurring? Because loss of perfusion. Okay, perfusion means loss of blood supply. So due to that loss of blood supply, oxygen supply also will decrease. So because of that, ischemia will occur. So it will create the chest pain. Angina is caused by imbalance between oxygen supply and demand. So it will be imbalanced. So what it needs, how much need oxygen and how much it is supplying, so there will be some imbalance. He needs some like 5 liters of oxygen, just example I am giving. If he needs 5 liters of oxygen and he is getting just 2 liters of oxygen, so there is some imbalance. So he will be having ischemia at that part. So it will lead to so many problems. So angina will occur, chest pain may occur. Causing included obstruction of coronary blood resulting from the atherosclerosis, coronary artery spasm, condition increasing myocardial oxygen consumption. So these are the causes. Okay, so the goal of treatment for the angina. So for the angina, what is the goal of treatment? The goal of treatment for angina is provide relief from the acute attack. So first we need to relieve from the acute attack, whatever acute attack is there. So first we need to remove that acute attack. Relief, we need to provide some relief. Correct the imbalance between myocardial oxygen supply and demand. So we need to correct it. So how much it is needed, that much we need to provide the patient. Prevent the progression of disease and further attacks. Then after that we need to prevent the progression of disease. Okay, or further attacks, reduce to risk for MI. When angina is occurring, so it is a greater risk for MI. Patterns of angina. So what are the patterns or types of angina? So first is stable angina. Stable means it will be stable. How it will be stable? It is also called exertional angina. That means in stable condition, in rest, it will not be there. So it occurs when it occurs with activity that involves exertion or emotional stress, relieved with the rest and nitroglycerin. If patient or client is on rest, it won't be occur. Okay, or it will be relieved. When he or she is doing some activities, he will be having chest pain, he will be having that angina. So usually as a stable pattern onset. Okay, duration, severity, and relieving factors. Okay, unstable angina, also called pre-infarction angina. So this is also called pre-infarction angina, means before myocardial infarction this angina may occurs with the unpredictable degree of exertional emotion or increase in occurrence, duration, and severity, or over time. So this is very severe angina. It can be for long time also. Okay, it can occur whenever it will be. Pain may not be relieved by nitroglycerin. So it may not be relieved by nitroglycerin, and it may lead to the MI also. Variant angina is also called prinzmetal angina. Okay, or vasospastic angina. It will, in this condition, vasospasm will be there. So result from the coronary artery spasm. So whenever coronary artery spasm is there, blood vessel spasm is there, it will cause the variant angina. So may occur at rest also. So variant angina may occur in the at rest also. When patient is on rest, that time itself also variant angina is occurring. It may occur. Attacks may be associated with the ST segment elevation. So in this variant angina, ST segment elevation can be there, it may be there on the ECG. Another is intractable angina. So intractable angina means is a chronic incapacitating angina unresponsive to the intervention. So whatever we are doing something intervention to the patient, but he will not be responsive. Like we are providing the rest, oxygen and nitroglycerin also, but he is unable to get that proper things means he is unable to back to the normal conditions. Okay, he is unresponsive to the intervention whatever we are doing. Pre-infarction angina is associated with the acute coronary artery insufficiency. When coronary arteries is associated with the acute coronary insufficiency, so coronary perfusion is insufficient, then it is related with this condition. Lasts longer than 15 minutes, so it will last to the longer than 15 minutes. Symptoms of worsening cardiac ischemia. Okay, symptoms of worsening, it can lead to the cardiac ischemia also, characterized by chest pain that occurs day to weeks before MI. So it will lead to the MI also. It can be for day and it can go to the weeks also, then it may lead to the myocardial infarction. So for the angina, what we have to do? So for assessment, what we will do for assessment, first we will see the pain. So how is the pain? So pain can develop slowly or quickly. So it can be develop slowly or quickly. So how it will be that pain? So pain is usually described as mild or moderate. So pain will be usually mild to moderate. So it will be mild to moderate. Or what is the type of pain? Substernal crushing and squeezing pain will be there. So it will be like a squeezing pain, it will be there. Okay, pain may radiate to the shoulders. So it can go to the shoulders, arms, jaw, neck and back also. So this pain may go to the neck, arms, shoulders, back. From chest to it may go to shoulders, arms, jaw, neck and back. Okay, pain intensity is unaffected by inspiration and expiration. So pain intensity is unaffected by inspiration and expiration. So patient is doing expiration or inspiration, that means breathing he is doing, so pain intensity will not be affected by that aspiration breathing. Pain usually lasts in less than 5 minutes. So it will be last less than 5 minutes. However, pain can last up to 15 to 20 minutes. So usually it will be for less than 5 minutes, but it may go beyond the 15 to 20 minutes also. Pain is mostly relieved by nitroglycerin and rest. So whenever chest pain is occurring, we are providing the rest to the patient and we are giving the nitroglycerin. Okay, so usually it will subside. So what are the other assessment we need to do? Dyspnea. So we will find the dyspneic problem will be there, difficulty in respiration will be there, patient will maybe a pallor, sweating will be there, palpitation and tachycardia may be there, dizziness and syncope is there, hypertension can be there, and digestive disturbance also be there. So what are the diagnostic studies? So same like that only. So diagnostic studies, we can go for norm ST depression will be there, and T waves inversion during episodes of pain. So ST depression and T wave inversion. Stress testing, chest pain or changes in the ECG or vital sign during test may indicate ischemia. If chest pain is there or ECG chest changes in ECG or vital sign during test, so when we are doing stress test, in that chest pain is there or ECG changes is there or vital sign changes is there, it may indicate the ischemia is there. So patient is ischemic. Cardiac enzymes and troponin levels finding are normal in angina. So in angina, cardiac enzymes level will be normal only. Okay, it will not be increased. Cardiac catheterization provides the definite diagnosis by providing information about the patency of coronary artery. So we can do the cardiac catheterization. So we can see the coronary artery, whether it is vasospasm is there, any plaque formation is there. So what are the any lesions is there. So what are the problem in the, what is the problem in the coronary artery. So this we can visualize by the cardiac catheterization. So these are the diagnostic tests we can do. Now we have diagnosed the things, so what we can do, for what are the interventions we can do. So immediate management, first assess the pain, how much pain, what is the intensity, duration and all. So first we need to relieve by the pain. Administer oxygen by nasal cannula. So with the nasal cannula only we need to administer the oxygen if prescribed. So whenever patient is having chest pain, first we need to assess the pain, then we need to go for oxygen also. But oxygen also we can't administer as a nurse individually. That means for that also we need some prescription. If doctor says yes, you administer the oxygen, okay, so then only we need to administer the oxygen also. Okay. Assess the vital signs and provide continuous cardiac monitoring and nitroglycerin as prescribed to dilate the coronary arteries. So we have to assess the vital signs, and we can provide the nitroglycerin also to dilate the coronary arteries and reduce the oxygen requirements of myocardium, which will relieve by the chest pain. Ensure that bed rest is maintained. Place the client in semi-flawless position. So this is the first priority. First we need to keep the patient on the semi-flawless position and stay with the clients. Okay. Obtain 12 lead ECG and establish IV access route. So we need to put the IV line. Okay. Following the acute episodes. So acute episode is there. So what we can do? So we need to remove these episodes. So this coronary artery disease, whatever we have done, we will do these things. And assess the client to identify angina precipitating events. So what are the events which are precipitating the angina? Okay, to identify the angina precipitating events. So instruct the client to stop activities and rest if the chest pain occurs. So we need to ask the client, if chest pain is occurring, he should stop the activity and he should do the rest and take the nitroglycerin as prescribed. The client is usually instructed to call emergency medical services if the nitroglycerin dose does not relieve. If pain is not relieved by the nitroglycerin, he should inform the emergency department. Emergency medical call he has to do and inform the SCPs. And many SCPs recommend that the client also takes an aspirin if nitroglycerin is also taking, and some SCPs says aspirin also he may take. So when SCP says, then only he should take the aspirin also. Why aspirin? Because it is an antiplatelet drug. So it will work a antiplatelet drug. Okay. Surgical procedures. So we have seen in coronary artery disease what are the atherectomy and all, like that only surgical procedure we can do. Medications, whatever we have given, like nitroglycerin and antiplatelet drugs and anti-lipid medication. So these medication also for this, in this also we can provide. Antiplatelet therapy, like antiplatelet means aspirin and aspirin or clopidogrel, that all we can give. So it will reduce the risk for developing MI. Okay, so this is the angina. Okay. Now coming to myocardial infarction. So what is myocardial infarction? So MI occurs when myocardial tissues is abruptly severely deprived of oxygen. So when oxygen supply is cut, so it will lead to the myocardial infarction. Ischemia can lead to a necrosis of myocardial tissues if blood flow is not restored. If blood flow is not restored, okay, oxygen supply is not there, then tissues will be go for ischemia. Infarction does not occur instantly but involves several hours. Infarctions, it won't be occur suddenly, it will take some times. Okay, first ischemia and all this condition will be there, then after that it will take some hours, then it will lead to the infarctions. Obvious physical changes do not occur in the heart until 6 hours. So obvious physical changes will not occur within 6 hours. It will take time. After 6 hours it will be occurring. How it will be occurring? When infarcted area appears blue and swollen. So first it will be visible, that area particularly in blue, it will be blue and swollen. Why blue? Blue it will be because oxygen supply is not there, so that cyanosis will be there in particular region. After 48 hours, what will be there? The infarct turns to gray. That particular area will be formed gray, and with yellow sticks developing a neutrophils invade tissues. So neutrophil deposition will be there. So neutrophils invade in that tissues will be there within the 48 hours. By 8 to 10 days after infection, granulation tissue forms. So by the 8 to 10 days, after 8 to 10 days, infection will be there and granulation tissue formation will be there after infection. So if infection has occurred, after infection what will be there? Tissue granulation will be there. And over 2 to 3 months, the necrotic area develops a scar. That whatever granulation occurs after 2 3 months, that scar formation will be there. A scar tissue permanently changes the size and shapes of the entire left ventricle. So that scar will change the size and shape of the entire left ventricle. Okay. So whatever ventricle is remaining, so it will be change that particular area. Not all clients experience that the classical symptoms of MI. So all clients will not having the experience of all classical symptoms of MI. Some may have pain, some may have breathing difficulty and all. So all won't be having the same symptoms. Women may experience atypical discomfort, shortness of breath, of fatigue, often present with non-ST elevation myocardial infarction. So it can be a anastemi or T wave inversion. So women may experience atypical discomfort, shortness of breath will be there, fatigue can be there in women, and anastemi and T wave inversion. Anastemi means non-ST elevation, so ST elevation will not be there. An older client may experience shortness of breath. So in older client it will be there, shortness of breath will be there, pulmonary edema will be there, dizziness, altered mental, and these arrhythmias it may be there in older clients. So location of MI. So locations of MI you can see in the figure. We have seen the like left ascending arteries and all. Like we have seen this circumflex artery. So in that figure we can see, you have seen. So what are the obstruction of LED arteries results in the anterior wall of or septal MI or both. So LED means left anterior descending artery. So left anterior descending artery will having the anterior wall MI or septal MI or both. So it will lead to the anterior wall of the MI or septal wall MI. Okay, so LED will lead to the septal wall MI or anterior wall MI. Whereas obstruction in the circumflex artery, circumflex artery is having obstruction, it will lead to the posterior and lateral wall. So LED anterior and septal, whereas circumflex posterior and lateral. And obstruction in the right coronary artery, it will be the inferior wall MI. So whenever inferior wall MI is there, that is obstruction due to where? In the right coronary artery. So right means inferior, circumflex means posterior and lateral, and LED means anterior or septal. So these are the, it can be asked in the questions. So what are the risk factors? So risk factors are there: atherosclerosis, coronary artery disease, elevated cholesterol level, smoking, hypertension, obesity, physical inactivity, and impaired glucose tolerance and stress. So these are the main risk factors for the myocardial infarction. Diagnostic studies, so troponin level and all these cardiac enzymes we can see. So troponin level within arise within the 3 hours. So it will arise within 3 hours and remains up to 7 to 10 days. So it will arise in the within 3 hours. So it will, we can check this level up to 7 to 10 days. This I already told you in diagnostic procedure we have seen in that time itself, but again we see total CK level, it will arise within the 6 hours. So troponin will be 2 hours, this will be within 6 hours after the onset of chest pain, and it will it peaks within the 18 hours. So it will go within the peaks within the 18 hours and after damage and death of cardiac tissues. And CKMB, so this is the peak elevation occurs 18 hours after the onset of chest and returns to the normal 48 to 72 hours. So it will return to the 48 to 72 hours. Myoglobin, so first it will be released only myoglobin only within 2 hours, and cell death with rapid declination level after the 7 hours. So it will decline after the 7 hours. White blood cell count also it will be elevated when elevation of white blood cell WBC appears on the second day. So what WBC we can see after the second day of MI and last up to 1 week. So WBC are also elevated, but it will be when after second day of onset of MI. Then it will be last for the 1 week. So it will be available for the 1 weeks. Electrocardiogram, what we can see, so ECG shows either ST segment elevation, that is STEMI, or T wave inversion, or NSTEMI, abnormal Q wave may also present. Okay, NSTEMI and STEMI. Hours to days after the MI, so it can be for hours or it can go to the days. ST and T wave changes will return to the normal, but the Q wave changes usually remain permanently. So what will be there, if ST and T waves changes are there, that will be written in the normal after few days, but in Q wave that will be a permanent will be there. Diagnostic test, so what we can do diagnostic test is, so exercise tolerance test or stress test to assess the electrocardiographic changes. So when doing the exercise, while exercising, any changes in ECG and all this we can evaluate. So ischemia and evaluate the medical therapy or identify the client who may need invasive therapy. So it will inform you this procedure whether it need a medical therapy or any surgical or any invasive procedure. Okay, so by this diagnostic test we can see the EC changes in the stress time or exercise time. Thallium scan also we can assess. Thallium scan also we can do. Thallium scan to assess for ischemia or necrotic muscle tissues. So by the thallium scan we assess the ischemia is there, whether necrotic muscle tissues are there. Multi-gated cardiac blood pool imaging scan may be used to evaluate left ventricular function. So multi-gated cardiac blood pool, by that we can assess the left ventricular function. Cardiac catheterization also we can do. Okay, we can see that any obstruction is there, plaque formation is there, and stenosis is there. So these things also we can do. Now pain assessment. So pain also we can, like angina we are seeing, like this also we see the crushing or substernal pain is there, whether it is radial to jaw, back and left arm. Pain may occur without causes, primarily early in the morning. Pain is unrelieved by the rest or nitroglycerin and is released by opioids. So when we give the opioid, it will released. Pain lasts for 30 minutes or longer. So whether it is for 30 minutes or less than 30 minutes or it was for longer. So these everything we need to assess. Whether nausea, vomiting was there, diaphoresis is there, dyspnea, dysarrhythmia, feelings of fear and anxiety, pallor, cyanosis, coolness. So these things are there in the patient or not. So these we need to assess. Complications of MI. So here are the complications we will see. So this is the main important point given here. What is that? Pain relief increase oxygen supply to the myocardium. Pain relief, when we relieve by the pain, so it will increase the oxygen supply to the myocardium. So administer morphine as the priority in the managing the pain and the oxygen. Okay, or to having managing the pain in the client having MI. So if questions comes, what will be your priority to managing MI? So option will be there: morphine, okay, oxygen, nitroglycerin and aspirin. So first will be priority your morphine, then only oxygen, because we need to decrease the demand of oxygen. So how it will be decrease the demand of oxygen? When we provide the what? Morphine. Why? If morphine we provide, so pain relief will be there, so it will increase the oxygen supply and oxygen demand it will be decreased. So we need to first provide the morphine. So this is very important question or very important point. So first priority will be the morphine only, not oxygen. Complications of myocardial infarction. So myocardial infarction, what are the complications can occur if myocardial infarction is there? So dysarrhythmia, it will be there. Heart failure, it can be there. Pulmonary edema may be there. Shock may be there. Cardiogenic shock, thrombophlebitis. So these are the main important points here. Important complications: dysarrhythmia, heart failure, pulmonary edema, cardiogenic shock, and thrombophlebitis. So this you see, it is very important. And pericardial arrest, mitral valve insufficiency, and post-infarction angina. After infarction, angina may occur. Ventricular rupture may occur, and Dessler syndrome. So what is Dessler syndrome? It is also can occur. So it is a combination of pericarditis, pericardial infusion, and pleural effusion. So it is a combination. So Dessler syndrome means pericarditis is there, pericardial effusion is there, and pleural effusion is there. Three things are there. Three triple P. Triple P means pericarditis, it is given here, pericardial effusion, and pleural effusion. So these three things is the Dressler syndrome. What will be there? Which can occur several weeks to the month. So it can be for several weeks to months following a myocardial infection. So when myocardial infection is there, so its complication is Dressler syndrome. So in Dressler syndrome, what will be there? Three conditions will be there. Pericarditis will be there, pericardial effusion will be there, and pleural effusion will be there. So this is very important point here. This is Dressler syndrome, and it is a complication of MI, myocardial infarction. Then what are the interventions? We are going to see the intervention of acute stage. So what are the intervention for acute stage? Obtain a description of chest. So we need to obtain a description of chest discomfort, administer oxygen, and administer pain relief measures like morphine, nitroglycerin, and all this we need to administer. Vital signs we need to assist, and cardiovascular status and cardiac monitoring. Respiratory, whenever cardiac problem is there, respiratory is also very important. Whenever respiratory problem is there, cardiac is also very important. Both are interlinked. Okay, so respiratory rate, breathing sounds, and all this we need to see whether edema is there, when pulmonary edema is there. Okay, so this we need to see. Ensure bed rest. Patient is on bed rest. Place the client in a semi-folded position. So we need to provide the semi-folded position because patient will be having breathing difficulties. So semi-folded position we need to provide. Enhance the comfort and tissue oxygenation. We need to see the comfort for, okay, because tissue oxygenation it need. Okay, so whether client is on a comfort position and all. So this everything we need to see. Establish the IV access route. So IV line, 12 lead ECG, monitor the levelity values, lab values, and all we need to watch it. Monitor for cardiac dysarrhythmias. If any dysarrhythmias is because of tachycardia is there, PVCs are there, frequently occurring few hours after MI. So MI will lead to the dysarrhythmia. So this we need to watch it. We need to monitor. Okay. And we can administer anti-dysarrhythmic medication like lidocaine and all if it is prescribed. Administer the thrombolytic therapy. So if it is prescribed thrombolytic therapy which may be given within the first 6 hours. So within the first 6 hours, like thrombolytic, the streptokinase is the crucial time for providing that golden period for providing the thrombolytic therapy. Okay. And monitor the signs of bleeding if the client is receiving the thrombolytic therapy. When patient is getting thrombolytic therapy, so first we need to assess for what any bleeding signs and symptoms is there. So we need to assess for the bleeding is there or not. Assess the distal peripheral pulses and skin temperature, because poor cardiac output may be identified by cool diaphoretic skin and diminished and absent pulse. So when distal peripheral pulses also we need to see. So we need to see the skin temperature. So skin temperature, whether it is warm or cool. So when blood supply is cut, so temperature will be less of the body. That means that skin will be diaphoretic or cool. It will be diaphoretic or cool, and diminished pulse will be there. Monitor the BP closely after the administration of medication. So when we are administering medication, so we need to monitor the BP closely. Systolic, whether systolic lower than 100 or systolic is lower than 100 mmHg or 25 mmHg lower than previous reading. So these things we need to see and we need to inform the SCP. Okay, and we need to lower the head of bed. Okay, administer beta blockers to prescribe slow the heart rate. For slowing the heart rate, and we can administer the beta blockers, whatever beta blocker is prescribed by the doctor, and increase the myocardial perfusion. So we need to increase the myocardial perfusion while reducing the force of myocardial contraction. So these things we need to do. Provide reassurance to the client and family. Reassure the client and family. Intervention following the acute episodes. So for acute episode, what we can do? Bed rest. Allow the client stand to void and use a bedside common if prescribed. So allow the client to stand, okay, to void and use a bedside common if prescribed. So this we can do. Provide the range of motion exercise. This is very important. ROM to prevent thrombus formation. Whether client is on always bed rest, so it will lead to the thrombus formation. So ROM he should do, or we should help for maintaining muscle strength also. Then prolonged dangling legs at the side of bed. So provide the dangling legs at the side of the bed or outside of the bed to the chair 30 minutes 3 times a day we can provide this. Okay, progress ambulation is client's room to dry and to the bathroom, then in the hallway 3 times a day. So 3 times he can go for ambulations. Monitor for complications. So what are the complications? We have seen this, like pulmonary edema and all this, everything. Cardiogenic shock we need to monitor. And administer the angiotensin converting enzymes, ACE inhibitors. Okay, angiotensin 2 receptor blockers, calcium channel blocker, aspirin, clopidogrel, and lipid lowering agents. So these will be prescribed by the SCP. So if SCP is prescribed these medication, we need to administer this. Encourage the client to verbalize feelings regarding the MI. So MI will be there. We need to encourage the client verbalize how is the MI, how is the chest pain, what he is feeling, whether it is dyspneic, whether he is having any chest pain, what is the type of pain and all, intensity and all. This we need to ask the client. We need to encourage the verbalize the feeling of regarding MI. Cardiac rehabilitation process for actively assisting the client with cardiac disease. So we need to process the actively assisting the client with the cardiac disease. We need to assist the client who is having cardiac disease to achieve the maintaining the vital and productive life within the limitations of heart disease. So patient is having heart disease, so for cardiac rehabilitation we need to assist the client like in his daily activities, daily life, what are the life modification he has to do, what he has to eat, how he has to do exercises and all. This we need to rehabilitate the client to get a new life, means new things what he can do in his life, so he can get easily everything. That means we need to prevent the cardiac disease further, so he should be on cardiac rehabilitation. Okay, so we need to support him. So we need to teach the how he has to do the exercises and what are the eating pattern, what are the diet, what diet he has to take and all. This in cardiac rehabilitation we need to teach. Okay, so we should be with the patient. So these are the things we have seen: MI, angina and coronary artery disease. So in next video we will start the heart failure. So if you like my videos, please like and share it, and subscribe my channel and share to others. Please subscribe my channel. You people are not subscribing my channel, please subscribe it. We will cover all, so I will cover horse holders, and we will do the all question answers also. Okay, thank you all of you, thank you.